In today's video, we're going to go over my attempt at painting this AR pistol. I'm going to be painting this pistol with Aluma-Hyde from Brownell's. That's the sound of frustration, folks. So having finished for the day and leaving it to dry, I initially thought it came out really good. However, when I came back and looked at it across the room, I realized it just looks OD green. I think my mistake was choosing too many colors. In part 2 of this video, I'm going to use this as the base coat. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to build some stencils, I'm going to pick some colors, and I'm going to see if I can fix it. So the first thing I had to do was go ahead and remask the entire gun, fill in all the mechanicals with foam like I had before, cover the barrel, etc. This also included cleaning up the mess I made filming my Kimber review video. This time I covered the muzzle brake and the gas block because I didn't feel like they needed any specific pattern on them. Now that the rifle was ready to paint, the next step was to choose which colors I was going to use. The best option as I saw it was to paint several stripes on a test piece of cardboard and compare it to the rifle to see what it most closely matched. My goal was to pick a light color, a medium color, and a dark color to be the 3 I was going to use for the camo. Because of the camera angle, you really can't see it, but the gun most closely resembled the OD green. After this, I also got the idea of comparing the colors to native species of tree that will be in the area to see what most closely matched as well. After this comparison, I decided to use the dark parkerizing gray as the dark color, the brown earth as the medium color, and the coyote as the light color. I ruled out using the wolf gray just because it really didn't seem to match anything. So with the mostly OD green base coat, I needed something to put on the gun that was going to provide some kind of a pattern. The leaves did an okay job, but I needed something more consistent, so I picked up a roll of plastic chicken wire. I figured this would almost give it a snake scale appearance. I used zip ties to attach the chicken wire around the pistol. If I had it to do again, I wouldn't attach the chicken wire to the pistol. Instead, I would hold it up to the pistol and spray paint against it like I did the leaves in the previous video. The reason I say that is what I found afterwards is the places where the chicken wire were close to the pistol came out with the best pattern, but the places where I couldn't zip tie it close enough, it really didn't make a difference. This time I started with painting stripes down the gun in the dark Parkerizing gray. Next I painted in between those stripes with the brown earth. Finally, I got the coyote and one of the leaves that I liked from the previous video, and I used it to try and add pattern to some of the different parts of the gun.
Okay, so this is really weird. I started painting a scope, and the paint started doing something really odd. What the hell? Now, the thing is, the other day, I accidentally spattered some gun oil all over some stuff upstairs, and it made a big mess. But I only got a couple spots on this scope, and I cleaned them off, and it shouldn't have made such a big mess on this one part of the scope. So I don't know what the deal is there. So I guess maybe I get to redo that part, but just something to be aware of.
So after giving it time to dry, this time it does appear to have a lot more pattern in it. Like mentioned, the honeycomb pattern or snake scale pattern that I expected to get off of the chicken wire, I got in some places, but not everywhere. I like how it came out overall. I would like a little more variation, but that's probably because of the paint colors I chose. It seems like the Aluma-Hyde doesn't have too many really dark options, or really light options for that matter. They all seem to be mid-tones, which unfortunately limits the variation you can have. As for the scope, I wiped off the bubbling paint and cleaned that part of the scope with some acetone. I repainted it after it had time to dry, and although it didn't come out pretty, it did actually accept the paint this time. Still not clear what the cause of that was, but I have to assume it was the oil on the surface. One additional thing I found was that the paint I put on the actual scope covers that were plastic didn't adhere very well. A few days after I had painted it, I touched one of them and the paint just peeled off. I removed the rest of it with my fingernail, figuring it'll just have to be black from now on. So, overall, I think the Aluma-Hyde worked very well. It adhered to most of the surfaces without a problem, with a few exceptions. I think that's probably what's important when you're using the Aluma-Hyde is testing it on the type of material you're going to be painting. The aluminum and steel don't seem to be much of a problem as far as adherence goes. Some of the more rubberized plastic parts, that may be questionable. If you want to see more, please like, comment, and subscribe. I've got a new video coming out pretty soon where I'm testing the durability of several different firearm coatings. Aluma-Hyde is actually one of them in that test, so you can see what more of the long-term durability might actually be. But you're not going to know about it if you don't like, comment, subscribe, because then you'll know when it comes out. Otherwise, you'll just have to get lucky. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.